Let me ask you something. Have you ever wondered why some marriages fall apart, even when there's still love? Or maybe you've seen couples who look fine on the outside, but slowly drift apart on the inside. Welcome to Mind Matters Expert. Today, we're diving into something real, something many people experience but don't talk about enough. Marriage is often seen as a lifelong commitment filled with love, trust, and partnership. But the reality is that many couples struggle to maintain a healthy and lasting relationship. In fact, nearly 40% of marriages end in divorce, a sobering reminder that love alone isn't always enough. The good news is that most marriages can be saved. Relationship experts emphasize something important. Problems don't appear overnight. They build quietly over time. Issues like unspoken expectations, emotional fatigue, and unresolved resentment slowly chip away at the foundation of a relationship. But when couples recognize these patterns early and take intentional steps to address them, they can rebuild stronger, more fulfilling connections. So let's break it down together. Here are the 6 most common mistakes both men and women make in marriage, and more importantly, how to avoid them. Silent distance. Avoiding hard conversations. Let's start with something many people don't even realize they're doing: avoiding vulnerable conversations. Let me ask you, how often do you hold back something important just to avoid an argument? One of the biggest mistakes couples make is avoiding difficult conversations. Many people fear that bringing up sensitive topics will lead to conflict, distance, or emotional discomfort. But here's the truth. Avoiding these discussions actually creates bigger problems. When concerns about emotional needs, dissatisfaction, or insecurities go unspoken, they don't disappear. They grow, and over time, that silence creates emotional distance and weakens trust. Why does this happen? Well, it's often due to fear of conflict or rejection, past experiences where arguments escalated, or the belief that ignoring it will make things better. So how do you fix it? Start by scheduling a weekly relationship check-in. Create a safe, judgment-free space where both of you can talk openly. And most importantly, focus on understanding, not winning. Because open communication strengthens emotional intimacy. The more honest you are with each other, the safer and more connected your relationship becomes. When love feels routine. Falling into roommate mode. Now let's talk about something that slowly creeps in without warning. Drifting into what many call roommate mode. Be honest for a second. Have you ever felt like you and your partner are just managing life together? Life gets busy, really busy. Between work, kids, bills, and daily responsibilities, many couples unintentionally shift from romantic partners to roommates. When your relationship becomes all about logistics, who's doing the dishes, paying bills, or running errands, the emotional and physical connection starts to fade. Here are some signs you might be in this phase. Conversations revolve only around responsibilities. There's little to no physical affection, and you rarely spend intentional quality time together. So what can you do about it? Schedule regular date nights, weekly or even monthly. Create small daily rituals like watching a movie together, cooking side by side, or taking an evening walk. Because romance doesn't require grand gestures. It is consistency in small, meaningful actions that keeps the spark alive. The trap of changing your partner instead of accepting them. Now here's a tough one: refusing to accept your partner as they are. Let me ask you something honestly. Are you loving your partner or trying to change them? No one is perfect, and expecting your partner to become someone completely different is a recipe for frustration. A healthy marriage requires acceptance. That means embracing both the strengths and the flaws of your partner, without constant criticism or resentment. Here's the reality. People grow and evolve over time, but core traits often stay the same. Trying to fix your partner can create tension and emotional distance. So what's the better approach? Focus on what you love about your partner, communicate gently about areas of improvement, and understand the difference between deal breakers and simple quirks. Because acceptance doesn't mean settling. It means choosing love despite imperfections. Now let's talk about something we all do, but, rarely do well: apologizing. When was the last time you gave a real apology, not just a quick sorry? Every relationship experiences conflict. Mistakes, honestly, are inevitable, but what really matters is how you repair the damage. Many people struggle with apologizing properly. Instead of taking responsibility, they become defensive, dismissive, or even avoid the issue entirely. Here are some common apology mistakes: saying "I'm sorry, but," and shifting the blame, minimizing your partner's feelings, or just ignoring the issue completely. So, how do you apologize the right way? First, acknowledge the impact of your actions. Then, take full responsibility. Express genuine remorse. And finally, offer a clear plan for change. A meaningful apology rebuilds trust, restores emotional safety, and shows your partner that their feelings truly matter. Next, let's look at something that often goes unnoticed until it's too late: unequal distribution of labor and mental load. Let me ask you this: does one person in the relationship feel like they're carrying everything? One of the most common sources of resentment in marriage is imbalance, especially when one partner feels overwhelmed by responsibilities. And this isn't just about physical tasks like cooking or cleaning. It also includes the mental load, planning, remembering, organizing, and emotionally holding everything together. Here are some signs of imbalance. One partner feels like the default manager. There are constant reminders and follow-ups, and you start to notice growing frustration and burnout. So how can you fix this? Start by making a list of all responsibilities, big and small. Then, divide tasks clearly and fairly. But don't stop there. Talk about the mental and emotional workload too, and check in regularly to reassess and adjust when needed, because a partnership should feel like a team effort, not a one-person job. And finally, something simple, yet incredibly powerful: lack of appreciation. Let me ask you this: when was the last time you truly appreciated your partner? Feeling unappreciated can slowly erode even the strongest relationships. Many partners are actually trying. They are making efforts. But if those efforts go unnoticed, it leads to frustration and emotional disconnect. Often, the issue isn't a lack of effort. It is a mismatch in how love is expressed and received. Here's the key insight: people feel loved in different ways. What works for you might not work for your partner. So what can you do? Learn your partner's love language. Show affection in ways that matter to them. And most importantly, express gratitude regularly, even for the small things. That might look like surprising them with something they love, offering physical affection like hugs or kisses, or verbally acknowledging their efforts. Because appreciation creates a powerful cycle. The more valued someone feels, the more they invest in the relationship. So let me ask you one final question. Which of these mistakes do you think shows up the most in relationships today? Every marriage faces challenges. Conflict, misunderstandings, and emotional ups and downs are all part of the journey. But what separates successful couples from struggling ones is not the absence of problems. It is how they handle them. Healthy relationships require open communication, mutual respect, emotional awareness, and consistent effort. And most importantly, they require two people who are willing to grow, both individually and together. So if you recognize any of these mistakes in your own relationship, don't panic. Awareness is the first step toward change. With patience, honesty, and commitment, it is absolutely possible to rebuild connection, restore trust, and create a marriage that doesn't just last, but truly thrives. Before you go, here's a quick challenge for you. Which one of these 6 mistakes have you noticed in your own relationship? When was the last time you had a deep, honest conversation with your partner? And what's one small thing you can do today to make them feel appreciated? Think about it. Or even better, talk about it with your partner tonight. And if this made you pause, reflect, or see your relationship differently, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to Mind Matters Expert, because sometimes one small insight can change everything.